Have you ever noticed that some people just seem to attract opportunities effortlessly? They're not necessarily the smartest or the hardest working, but there's something different about their energy. Something you can feel, but can't quite put your finger on. Today I want to share something that completely shifted how I understand the law of attraction. It's not about techniques, it's about identity, about who you believe you are in the depths of your soul. And there are 6 invisible patterns that might be sabotaging that identity without you even knowing it. If you've ever wondered why some things flow easily in your life while others feel like pushing a boulder uphill, the next few minutes could be eye-opening. Because we're going to talk about the difference between wanting something and becoming the kind of person who naturally attracts it. Think of your energy like Wi-Fi. When you have too many devices connected, everything slows down. Your mind works the same way. Right now, how many versions of you are logged in? There's the you still processing something that happened yesterday. The you already worried about Monday morning. And maybe, just maybe, the you that's actually here. What if I told you the key to magnetic presence was captured in one of Carl Jung's most famous quotes? Who looks outside, dreams. Who looks inside, awakens. But there's a practical layer to this. Magnetically attractive people have total presence. When they talk to you, you feel like you're the only person in the world in that moment. Here's the key insight. The law of attraction operates on the frequency of the present. Not the memory of the present or the fantasy of the present, the living, breathing, conscious present. Simple technique. Next time you catch yourself time traveling, ask this question. What is this moment offering me right now? Not to fix the past or control the future, to receive the present. When you master this, something interesting happens. People start noticing you more. Opportunities appear not through magic, through presence. We all have a story, and some of those stories involve real pain, real rejection, real loss. I'm not here to minimize that. But I discovered something unsettling in Joe Dispenza's neuroscience research. Our brain becomes chemically addicted to the emotions. We feed it most. If you've gotten used to seeing yourself as the person who suffers, your nervous system will actually seek evidence to confirm that identity. Not consciously, nobody chooses this, but unconsciously, we find power in our pain, identity in our problems. And this creates an internal conflict. We want our life to improve, but our identity is built on the struggle. The pattern revealed, the law of attraction can't compete with your self-image. If you see yourself as rejected, you'll magnetize rejection. Not because the universe is cruel, but because you're tuned to that frequency. Gentle recognition. Notice how you introduce yourself in conversations. What story do you tell about yourself? Is it a story of growth or confirmation of pain? Natural shift. Start small. In one conversation today, share a victory instead of a problem. Notice how it feels. Your energy changes and people respond differently. Jordan Peterson has a line that sounds harsh, but is actually liberating. If you can't even clean up your own room, what right do you have to criticize the world? There's a crucial difference between two phrases. This happened to me versus this happened, and I choose how to respond. The first makes you a hostage. The second gives you back your power. I'm not saying you caused bad things in your life. I'm saying you have total power over how those things affect you moving forward. The revelation. People who master manifestation don't deny that bad things happen. They deny that those things have permanent power over their internal state. Transformative practice. Think of a situation where you feel like a victim. Now reframe it. This happened. How can I respond in a way that gives me back my power? Feel the energetic difference. Behavioral shift. Stop using "but" when you talk about your dreams. I want this, but transfers your power to the circumstance. Use "and." I want this, and I'll find a way. This simple language change reprograms your brain from limitations to solutions. There's an invisible line between wanting abundance and being desperate for things. They look the same on the outside, but internally, they're completely opposite energies. James Clear discovered something fascinating. We don't rise to the level of our goals. We fall to the level of our internal systems. The same applies to manifestation. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are energetically. The revealing test: notice your relationship with what you want to manifest. When you think about it, do you feel expansion and gratitude, or tension and urgency? If you're anxious about the manifestation, you're broadcasting scarcity. If you're measuring your happiness by when things arrive, you're operating from lack. The crucial distinction: truly prosperous people have one quality. They act as if they're already abundant, even before abundance arrives. Not by spending money they don't have, but by carrying the energy of someone who knows they deserve and can create. Practical technique: choose one area where you want abundance. For 1 week, act like someone who already has it, in your posture, generosity, confidence, not external force, but internal state. Abundance is a state that expresses itself through things, not the other way around. You were raised in a society that confuses being with doing, that measures your worth by your productivity, and this creates a subtle but powerful disconnection from your true nature. When Jesus said, "Seek first the kingdom of God, and all these things will be added unto you," he was talking about energetic priorities. The kingdom isn't a place. It's a state of being aligned with who you really are. The practical insight: your essence doesn't need to fight to attract. It naturally magnetizes what's aligned with it. But when you're disconnected from who you are, you try to force results from a place that isn't your center. Gentle exploration. Who are you when you're not performing? When you're not trying to impress or be useful to anyone? Accessible practice. Set aside 10 minutes this week to be with yourself without an agenda. No music, no phone, just you and your thoughts. You don't need to meditate or have deep insights, just be. It's in this quietness that you remember who you are underneath everything you do, and that connection transforms your presence in the world. Rumi said, "Give, even if you only have a little." But there's an energetic difference between giving from an abundant heart and giving from a calculating mind. Brian Tracy discovered that prosperous people share something in common. They give more than they ask. Not because they calculated the return, but because internal abundance naturally overflows. The revealing pattern: there's something I call strategic generosity, giving while expecting to receive. That's not generosity, it's disguised investment, and the universe can tell the difference. Gentle self-observation. Before you give anything, money, time, attention, notice your motivation for just a second. Are you giving from a place of abundance or expectation of return? Don't judge yourself if you discover expectations. Just observe. Awareness itself is transformation. Practical experience. Give something small today without anyone knowing. No recognition, no expectation. A sincere compliment, anonymous help, a generous tip. Feel the energetic difference. When you truly give, you align with the natural flow of abundance. You become a channel, not a reservoir. And channels always receive so they can keep giving. The last and most subtle sabotage to manifestation is something we all do: avoiding knowing who's trying to manifest. Carl Jung warned, "Everything we refuse to face in ourselves will meet as fate." You can visualize and affirm all you want. If you're running from parts of yourself, those rejected parts will sabotage your efforts. The liberating revelation: self-knowledge isn't heavy therapy or judgment. It's friendship with yourself. It's curiosity about your own operating system. People who master manifestation have a rare quality. They're genuinely interested in themselves. They know their patterns, accept their imperfections, work with their real nature. Curious investigation. What parts of yourself do you avoid looking at? Not to judge them, but to know them. Accessible practice. Once a week, spend time alone with yourself. Could be walking, could be writing, could be just thinking. The question isn't, what's wrong with me? It's, how do I work? What motivates me? What limits me? When you become interesting to yourself, you become interesting to the world. And interesting people attract interesting opportunities. The law of attraction isn't a technique you apply for 10 minutes each morning. It's a natural consequence of who you become. When you're present, connected to your essence, responsible for your experience, operating from internal abundance, giving genuinely, and knowing yourself, you don't need to try to attract. You naturally magnetize. The transformative question: what kind of person do I need to become so that my natural life becomes what I desire? Your next steps. Choose one pattern that resonated most with you today. For 1 week, just observe when it shows up. Don't try to change it yet. Just notice. Week 1, conscious observation. Week 2, small intentional shifts. Week 3, new identity taking root. Transformation doesn't happen when you learn something new. It happens when you stop running from what you already know you need to face. Your life is waiting for you to become who you really are. And when that happens, the law of attraction will become as natural as breathing. Start today. Start small, but start. If this resonated with you, I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. Share which pattern you recognized most in your own life. Your insight might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. And if you're ready to dive deeper into this journey of becoming who you're meant to be, subscribe and hit that notification bell. Because we're just getting started on this path of inner alchemy that transforms not just how you think, but how you exist in the world. Until next time, remember, you're not here to chase your dreams. You're here to become the person your dreams are chasing.